Question number 33. Continuing from the previous day lectures, the question number 33 is about consider the following statements regarding the artificial intelligence, AI. Artificial intelligence, that is one of the newest, it's not newest actually, artificial intelligence, very old discipline. But the thing is, it was not really considered at the initial age, because like even artificial intelligence was introduced in like early 90s. The problem is the computational power. The computational power was not enough to do most of the tasks that suggested by AI. Therefore, it was not executed at that time. But later in 2000 and recently, with the now the computational power has increased suddenly, and it can do a lot. Therefore, now actually this artificial intelligence concepts are in practice everywhere. Okay, so artificial intelligence systems can be used in email spam filters. Yes, AI can be used anywhere basically, not just for the email. Can use anywhere. Artificial intelligence systems can be are capable of analyzing uncertain information. That is why the artificial intelligence, right? Because when things are uncertain, when things are like not sure, so AI system should be able to suggest solutions. That is true. The third one, an artificial intelligence system is a system for capturing, sorting, processing, displaying data related to positions of Earth's surface. No, that is a geographical information systems, right? GIS. If it is capturing data, sorting, processing, displaying data related positions on the Earth's surface, that is GIS, not AI. Therefore, answer A and B are correct for the question number 33. The answer is number 2. Yes, Senali, your answers are correct. Situm, your answers are correct. Others have not answered the question properly. Others can now actually try to answer, right? So don't skip the answers. Try to answer the questions now at least. So the question number 34. Consider the following statement regarding programming languages and programming translation. A compiler translates program one statement at a time. Actually, so why programming translation is needed? Let's study about that a little, because this is the first question that we are getting related to that. We didn't discuss this type of question in this paper, but in future we will discuss a lot of similar questions. Therefore, we need to have proper exposure into this discipline, this area. And basically program translation. Why program translation needed? That need to be answered first. No, the why program translation needed, because you know that the computers can understand digital information, basically ones and zeros. The circuitries or the digital circuits can understand ones and zeros. This binaries basically. Actually, it's not in the 1 and 0 format, but basically some electronic format, maybe presence of electricity, absence of electricity. Those are electronic devices, right? Presence, absence, a switch. Basically, think about a bulb. What bulb can understand? Bulb can understand presence of electricity. If the electricity presence, it will light up. Absence of electricity, it will turn off. Turning on is basically when presence, turning off when it is absence. That is what bulb can understand. Similarly, the electronic devices can understand these two-state signals, ones, zeros, basically presence, absence of electricity. That is why these things can understand. But the thing is, in the programming language, we try to provide information in human readable format. We are trying to give a command like print ABC, but it is not actually a readable command to a computer. Computer cannot read that print ABC. What it can read the binary signals into the monitor, right? So print ABC is actually a kind of binary signal which is sent to a monitor. In a monitor, it is a matrix, right? A is a matrix. So this A matrix is basically letter A, matrix to monitor. Actually, the monitor will accept this as a matrix, right? Can you see these are? This is how this matrix light up the bulbs. This is how the letters are made of. Actually, if it is a single color, on in and off, turn on, turn off bulbs can do that. But if it is multicolor, then here, if it is single color, just turning on and turning off bulbs can do this task. But if it is a multicolor, this is there will be another dimension to display the. There will be another dimension. This is the fundamental. Actually. This is just how we display in a single color LED grid. This is just a fundamental. But the thing is, if it is multiple color, we have to think about third dimension to represent the color and the contrast. If it is transparency, then there's a fourth dimension. Likewise, with the effect, number of dimensions will be high. But the simplest way is here, you can see the simplest way is on-off simple thing. But anyway, it's kind of instruction. Here, print viral science. If it is like print viral science, we write the program as print viral science, but the thing is ultimately it will be understood by the LED grid as on-off signals. Therefore, there should be an intermediary which can convert our language to the computer's language. The computer's language is called machine language. There should be an intermediary who's capable of converting our language to the machine language. Those are translators. Initially, in the earlier stages, in the second generation programming, there was a translator called assembler. Assembler was translating the program. Assembling means like assembling is taken together. So this assembly language is kind of a language which take things together. So let's say this is an instruction. So if you take this together in the assembly language, you represent this as something like this. Let's say this is add, and this is number 18, and this is some other value. Maybe this is an address. So let's write this as an address 251. This is an address. So anyway, assembling means that. So this part is assembled as add command. Add is basically adding. This part is assembled as the second part is assembled. The second part is assembled as a register number. This is an example. This is not a real case, right? The first part is assembled as add command. The second part is assembled as register number 18. The third part is assembled as a memory address. So this is a kind of instruction. Assembly language will summarize that binary. So that was the second generation. The first generation programming machine language. This 1-0 notation was used, but the thing is, it's very, very hard. Actually hard to understand by the programmers. Therefore, in the first generation, there were like a very little amount, a handful of programmers, very little amount of programmers, because it was really mathematical, difficult. A lot of calculation knowledge was required. A lot of technical knowledge about the hardware is required. Therefore, very less number of programmers were there in the first generation. But in the second generation, with this assembly language, they managed to assemble code together, managed to assemble the codes together. Therefore, the language is not much lengthy. It is anyway understandable up to some extent, but this is not fully understandable by the people or computers, because computers couldn't understand as these are letters and symbols. Therefore, it needed a translator. So the second generation languages use assembler as the translator. But here, for the people also, this is a little bit technical, but better than the first generation. Then came the third generation language. In the third generation language, nothing technical was there. That is human, very human readable, or the high level language. It gives instructions like this. Let's take this instruction as a Python command. Print in hello will print hello in the string. But that is not simple as we think. because that need to be converted to this kind of assembled code, and then need to be converted to binary. Then only the processor will understand. Actually, that is done using there are two kind of programs that does, there are two kinds of programs that does this translation. So what are these programs? The one is compiler. Compiler will translate everything together, all at once. Compiler will translate all at once. But the interpreter, that is the second type of program, it will translate line by line. Actually, Python programs are kind of interpreter. HTML is kind of interpreter. PHP is considered as a kind of interpreter. But Java, C#, like thing, C#, Java, C++, those languages are considered as compiled. Actually, Java uses both compilation and interpretation. So it depends on the language. Compilation is a bit faster because it translates all at once. Okay, let's read the answers now. I just introduced the theory part also. So if you watch this video from the beginning, you can understand why translators are there, even for an essay question or structured question. Now you will be able to answer. Compiler translate program statement at a time. No, that is interpreter. Right? Assembler convert the program in assembly language into machine code. Yes, of course, that is true. An interpreter scans the entire program and translate as a whole into the machine code. No, that is the compile. Then only B is correct. That is number 2. Okay, what about your answers? 34. So no one has sent the answers. Only B. That is Situm's answer is correct. Senali's answer to 34 is 2. It's also correct. Only 2 students have sent the answers. Others, come on, please send the answers, right? Otherwise, I can discuss, that is not a problem. But in the examination, assume your situation. So one thing is, in the exam, one thing that you can do, if you are knowledgeable, you can understand the code and write the answers. No, that is number 1 option. If number 2 option is what? You can try that Kanapotta method. That means you guess an answer, right? At least test your luck here. Okay, let's say you don't know anything about the chapter, but you can test your luck. You can just guess your answer and say. That doesn't matter. මොකද exam එකෙත් ඔයාලා දන්නේ නැත්නම් කරන්නේ එහෙම තමයි 1 2 3 tick tock or you are sending the answers. No? That is what you have to do here. If you don't know the answer, guess the answer and send it. Why? Otherwise, how can you predict? Therefore, please send the answers quickly. Okay, question number 35 to 38, you can do it now. I will give you 5 minutes, but try to answer the questions 35 to 38. අර මෙතඩ් එකකින් හරි කමන්නේ. දන්නේ නැත්නම් 1 2 3 send කරා. මම ඩිස්කස් කරනවානේ. මම ඒක කොහොමද කරනවා? ඔයාලගේ පැත්තෙන්වත් කරන්න. නැත්නම් මේක තනියෙන් අප්පුඩි ගන්නවා වගේ. So I know the final results will not be useless. Right? Final results will be useless. Why? Because I'm discussing, but you are not involved. That's the problem. You have to involve. So actually, I decided in future I will do only 6-month revision classes for ICT. I will not do any other classes. So I will strictly on that decision. So no theory classes anymore. I will completely stop that because the thing is, you will not understand the gravity until the exam is in your mouth level. Then only you understand the gravity, because in the theory class, you come on some days, you are absent on other days, come after 2 days, come after 1 day, occasionally come in. So don't play around. That is not going to help. Level ICT, you can't do that, because I have to cover a certain amount of theory too. Therefore, I decided in future, no theory classes, strictly no theory classes, only do the revision classes. If there are students, I will only do the revision classes. If there are no students, I'm really okay to say goodbye to tuition. So that is not a problem to me, because I'm not depending on tuition classes. So I have some other work to do. Actually, so you will face in future, a lot of students will face difficulties because a lot of people are migrating. You will not find any quality. Most of the quality people will go away. So you will not be able to find some quality lecturers in future, for sure, because all are planning to move away, and students are planning to move away. Not just that, even the employees, lecturers, families are trying to move away considering the situation there, because that is not giving you a quality of life. I don't know, in near future also Sri Lanka will not be able to give a quality life to a citizen. Therefore, people have to decide. They have a short time, right? They have to enjoy their life. So that is kind of a decision is kind of selfish, but the thing is cannot do, because we have to enjoy life within a short amount of time. So therefore, so your involvement is really necessary here. If you are involved, you are getting the maximum, and you can do the maximum, and you can also enjoy your life in your future. Otherwise, you are going to be in a typical Sri Lankan citizen, and you are going to vote for every election, and after that disappoint and blame the politicians. Are you going to be such person, or are you going to win your life? You have to decide. ඔයාලා ලයිෆ් එක වින් කරන්න ඔයාලා ඩිසයිඩ් කරන්න ඕන පුතේ. මොකද මේකෙදි අපි මේ දැන් එක්සෑම් එක ගොඩක් අයට දැන් ලං වෙලානේ තියෙන්නේ. දැන් රත් වෙලානේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒකින්ද දැන්වත් try කරන්න. So keep the momentum. Yes, Situm, Senale, I'm having big hopes on you, because you were there from the beginning of the classes till the end. You're answering good. I hope that you are doing it honestly without looking at the answer schemes and all. If you're doing it honestly, yes, I can expect better results from you. Practice it well. Others also need to come to their level. They are doing well. Now they have developed their speed and also the accuracy. I can give you 2 more minutes. Come on, all of you need to test your answers. Give some answer. Either give like ඔක්කොටම එක හරි කියන්න. නැත්නම් මේක අපරාධනේ. You are involved. Without your involvement, how can you teach? දැන් මේ යන විදිහට දෙකකට උත්තරේ දෙක හින්දා අනිත් ඒවාටත් දෙක කියලාවත් කියන්න එක්ක. Okay, I can give 1 more minute. Okay, guys, let's discuss. Yes, that part is only for the people who were live, because as a recorded lesson, you will not get that. Unfortunately, I forgot to record, right? The XOR gate, OR gate, and AND gate. Actually, since it is unfair for the people who are watching the recording, I will tell it again, but I cannot explain further. I'm just telling, just overviewing. XOR or this, XOR or with this will just consider number of ones. If number of ones odd, then it will be taken as one. 1 ඒවා දෙකයි odd නෙවෙයි බිංදුවයි ඔත්තේ නෙවෙයි බිංදුවයි එකේව දෙකයි බිංදුවයි එකේව එකයි එකේව එකක් කියන ඔත්තේ. If it is odd, it will be taken. 2 ones will be even, 0, so 2 is the answer. The binary one will be converted back. O operation you already know. O means that both are 0, only 0. When both are 0, these are the inputs. I will highlight the inputs, otherwise you will confuse with the other answers. These are the inputs that we are considering. 23 and 21. These are the inputs. Oh, sorry. These are the inputs that you are considering. Operation, if both are 0, 0. Otherwise 1, then 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. 23 is the answer. And gate, both are 1, then 1. Here it's 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So it is this one, 21 is the answer. That is how you are getting. So I'm asking this now, the not operation. Again, the binary operation, not operation. Why you are getting? So when you not 23, you are getting minus 24. Not 21 minus 22. Not minus 11 plus 10. When you invert a minus value, you will get 1 less. When you invert a plus value, you will get 1 more than. So why is that? Can anybody explain the scenario? Okay, for an example, consider about the plus 10. Plus 10 is in 8-bit register. Last day we have learned that in the 24 class, 8-bit register plus 10. That is why I said, come to the 2024 class if you don't know the theories. This is the last theory class I'm going to do. So please note that I will not do any theory classes after that. 2025 to 26, no theory classes. So you can enjoy, participate in the last theory class that I'm doing. Okay, 8-bit register. 10 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 is in 8-bit register. When you not, regardless of the sign, it will invert 1 1 1 1 0 1 0 1. So when it is inverted, it will find this first one and it will think this as a 2's complement number. Oh, right. When you not, this happen. When you not, the reverse happen. When you reverse, so what the computer ALU will understand, ALU will think, this is a negative number. Negative. Negative means it will understand as 2's complement number. So when the number is 2's complement, it try to reverse the number. So one way is subtract in 1 and reverse. When you subtract 1 from here, because the 2's complement is generated after inverting by adding 1, then subtract 1 is, when you subtract, you will get 1 1 1 1 0 1 0 0. This is the 1's complement. This is 1's complement. And then you reverse it, then the sign will be there 0 0 0 1 0 1 1. Actually, what is this? This is sign and magnitude, right? When it comes to sign and magnitude, it will understand this as a minus. Here 1 0 1 1 means 11. That's the reason you are getting 1 bit more than why that is the reason why you are getting 1 more than that, because when it is converted, right, this we learn in last day 2024 class. That is why I said, like, you are given the freedom to participate, but you're not participating. That is your choice. Cannot help, right? Then, so please learn. If you don't know, please learn about the sign and magnitude, 1's complement and 2's complement. What is happening here? Actually, this is considered as when minus 11 is given. When the minus 11 is given, here, this is minus 11, is 2's complement. It will reverse the number. When you reverse the number, you will get plus 10. That is why the minus 11, when you reverse it, you have received plus 10. The plus 10 reverse, you will get minus 11. One more than the number. That is due to the 2's complement representation in the computer. Okay. Anyway, after a long discussion, we found the answer. 36. Consider following statements. This defragmentation make the files that are fragmented in a disk contiguous. Yes. What are these contiguous files? What are fragmented files? Just think about the CT node in a bus, right? Okay, let's go to that example. So sometimes in the plane booking and bus booking, in plane booking and bus booking, so they show this kind of images. So let's say booking apps here. So this is how they allocate the seats in bus booking or train booking. They indicate that these seats are booked, these are free. So files are stored in such a way in your disk. If files are stored here and there like this, we call that a fragmented file. Because, like, let's say a family jump into the bus, whole family is going a trip, and then right? Family is going on the chip. Let's say you have 4 members in the family, and 2 members are sitting here, and 2 other members are sitting here. That can be considered as a fragmented file. A single file is divided into 2 chunks and stored in 2 locations. Right? Sometimes when space is not enough, that happens because there are no 4 continuous seats. Seat හතරක් එක දිගට නැහැ. ඒ ඉන්න family එකේ දෙන්නෙක් මෙතන ඉඳගෙන ගත්තා, දෙන්නෙක් තව මෙතන ඉඳ ගත්තා. But they buy tickets. The one person will buy tickets for the for people in the family. But that consider that as a file. The file has one segment here, the other segment here, but it will be registered as a single file in the disk. Right? Just related to the file scenario. That is called a fragmented file. Contiguous file means no matter whenever the comes, the allocation will be according to an order. That means from this corner only the seats are allocated. The first person who will step into the bus need to go this seat. The second person will be allocated this. Likewise, they will be allocated continuous seat in order. That is called contiguous order. This happened in most of earlier sequential devices. One song, after that the next song recorded, after that the next song recorded, after that the next song. When you take empty cassette piece, you record one by one, like a contiguous way. But in normal discs, currently we have random accessible disks. Therefore, we are not considering much about storing things contiguously because that will take some time to file back in and making it contiguous. It will take some time. In defragmentation process, what will happen? Actually, the conductor will come to the bus and ask all the passengers, all these people, right? All these people to go and sit in an order. He's packing into the corner. Conductor ඇවිල්ලා කියනවා මේ කොනේ ඉඳන් පිළිවෙලට ඉඳ ගනින්න කියලා තැන තැන ඉන්න ඔක්කොම එලවලා දාලා. So that is what the defragmentation is. Right? I hope that simple thing you will understand that way. This defragmentation will make the fragmented file contiguous. Yes, that is what happening. Here and there, the people are here and there. Conductor come and ask them to sit in an order. Fragmented file contiguous. Correct. Swapping in the memory management technique, where the main memory contents which were not necessarily used are copied to the disk to make memory available to the other processors. Right. Swap in and page in. Swap in, swap in, swap out. Swap in, swap out. What is happening in this swap in, swap out process? Swap in, swap out process. Basically, when you want to run a program, you take that currently running program, the random access program reside in the secondary storage, or the programs are residing in the secondary storage or the permanent storage. You take the currently running portion to the main memory because it need to be executed. That is called swapping in. In swapping out process, the idle process currently not running. So you can see some processes are in background now. Like since I have opened this PDF, there are some processes. You can see the other windows which are loaded are in the background. So it can be swapped out because we have swapped in this one to the memory. The other processes, after some time, after this idle period, it can be swapped out from the memory to make room to other processes. So that way, actually, memory is limited. Memory is a limited resource. Therefore, it needs to be managed. Otherwise, what will happen? Everybody, like memory is 2 GB, your hard disk is, let's say, 1 TB. Then this 1 TB hard disk need to utilize 2 GB memory. Poor memory, right? Pawne. Yeah, 2 GB. Or 1 TB hard disk in හැමෝම බලන් ඉන්න මේ memory එක use කරන්න. So what will happen? You can imagine, right? Therefore, we have to make room to other process. Therefore, the swap in and swap out processes are really neat. Swap in means taking into the memory. Swap out means wiping out from the memory. So swap in is the memory management technique which main memory contents were not necessary used, then copy to the disk. Yes, that is swapping out. And also swapping in. Both will happen in the swapping process. So B can be considered as a correct answer. File allocation table. Fact, it's a table that operating system maintains which provide a map of the clusters that file has been stored in. Yes, that is what I said. When a new file come to the bus, when a new family come to the bus, need to give a ticket and register. Similar to that, when a new file come to the hard disk, need to register in this file allocation table. That is called indexed and registered. Indexing and register. Then only when you search, that can be discovered. Sometimes when even after searching, you cannot discover the files. Example, viruses are undiscoverable. They are coming without registering. Right? Hey, ඒගොල්ලෝ හොරු බස් එකට හොරෙන් යන්න ඇවිල්ලා තිනවා. Viruses are like they are not legitimate files නේ. ඉතින් ඒගොල්ලෝ හොරෙන් ඇවිල්ලා බස් එකේ ටිකට් ගන්න නැතුව යනවා. Similar to that, viruses will come and will not register in the file allocation table and will hide in the our disk. That can happen. So normally every file need to be registered in the FAT file allocation table, but now actually the FAT files are not available. We are using something called NTFS. See here. So let me go to the disk, and I have two disks here. Let me right click on one disk and go to the properties, and you can see this file is basically the file system is not FAT. It is NTFS, but still some pen drives, memory cards, maybe old disks, floppy disks, they are using this FAT system, file allocation table. The problem of FAT system is the security. That means everybody is given the same privileges. Even your mother, father, brother, sister, a robber, anyone comes, will get the same privileges in FAT file system. But in NTFS file system, there's something called security, where here authenticated users will get separate set of permission. System will get all the permission. Administrator will get most of the permission. User will get less permissions. Likewise, different users will get different permissions in NTFS security especially. But in the FAT file system, all the people will get same privileges. So FAT is bit all. After FAT 16 came, extended FAT came, FAT 32 came. Now we are using NTFS, new technology file system. In CD, DVD, there's a file system called CDFS, CD file allocation system, CDFS. NTFS, new technology file system, CDFS. EXT is there for Linux-based memory. SWAP, EXT-based things are there for Linux based, and Apple has a different file system for that. That is, I can remember APFS or something. But I'm using MacBook, but I forgot that. I don't know why. APFS. Yes, Apple file system is APFS, and they're using that. So different these people will use different systems. Anyway, all three are correct. That is 36. Number 5 is the answer. But there are a lot to learn, right? I think you can understand. You can answer the questions, but in order to answer the next set of questions, you need knowledge on this. That's why I'm telling, right? If you watch all the initial set of videos of this discussion, you will learn a lot. I promise that you will learn most of the theories. Actually, 75% of the theories will be covered in the revision class. That's why I said I will only do the revision after that. Right? Through which of the following will a device controller that controls device deal with operating system? To which of the following with a device controller that controls the device deal with the operating system? What's that question? So why is that format? It's a bit ambiguous. Is there any other word? It's no. Through which of the following will a device control the device? Basically, it's device driver, right? Should be device driver. We're asking like, yeah, how device work with the operating system with the help of device driver. Actually, any device, any kind of device you plug in, hardware, basically, even your hard disk, even your pen drive will have a driver. It's similar to a car having a driver. Why there's a driver in a car? Because car cannot drive alone. Forget about the automatic cars. I'm just telling about the traditional cars. These cars cannot drive along in the road. Therefore, need the assistance of a driver. So driver does mapping between the road and the car. Actually, how the road and car, or the road map and the car, so how it will understand, that is through the driver. Similar to that, a hardware can independently work, but the thing is, when it comes to the operating system or the computer environment, cannot understand how the environment works. So OS like road, and the hardware like the car. The car is there, road is there, but without a driver, both cannot work. So operating system, that is the road or the infrastructure, it needs driver. Driver is the software which provide or facilitating. It's a system software which facilitating to interface with the and communicate with the operating system, and so that is what you need when installed. Okay, that is then the device driver. Answer number 38. Okay, the problem is here, it's like, right, the time is the problem, but anyway, I feel a little dizzy when it comes to the late, because I'm just here usually wake up in the morning, but I know the Sri Lankan time is, but I have adapted to that because I'm few weeks I'm away of from the country. Sri Lanka is 8:25 p.m., but here it is 11 p.m. Okay, anyway, let's discuss at least a few, because otherwise our effort will be useless. Okay, because we need to cover certain amount of lesson, right? I'm tired, it's okay. Let's continue. I need your support. That's why I'm asking, always involved with the lesson. Okay, you have asked one question. So I just saw that. Okay, 3 minus 4 into 6. Okay, so what kind of, this is easy question. You can understand this easily, right? So I'll display this to others, then others can also figure out. Okay, so what will happen first? Surely the multiplication and the division will happen first. And so this will happen from left to right. That is the order, right? This will happen from left to right. So then the first thing to happen is 4 multiplied by 6. 4 multiplied 6 is what? 4 multiplied 6 is 24. 24, yeah, 24 divided by 3 is 8. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So 3 minus 8 will be here. 12. 12 divided by 4 is 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 into 3 is 9. So here 3 minus 8 plus 9. 3 minus 8 will be minus 5. Plus 9 will be 4. The answer for that question is, it's very easy, right? I don't know why you have asked anyway. So let's maybe to clarify, right? The answer is 4. Let me paste it here. You can see it's 4.0. Why 4.0 comes? Because of the division, right? I couldn't tell that. When there's a division involved, it will be answering with the 0. Did you get that point, or you need to explain that again? When the equal level of operation, it will happen from left to right. Oh, I couldn't discuss this. Consider the following statement relevant to the trends in the modern information technology. In traditional computing, data is considered encoded into binary digit, while the quantum computing data is represented into qubits. Correct. So the traditional computing, you have two status, 1 and 0. But these qubits are special that in quantum computing, these qubits can maintain two status together. That is the thing. In the traditional computing, only either that bit can take 1 or 0. But in quantum computing, so if there are 2 bits, it can maintain all 4 status. 2 bits can maintain 4 status. Bit දෙකක් තියෙනවා නම් 0 state, 0 1 state, 1 0 state, and 1 1 state. Normally in the traditional computing, there will be only 1 state out of 4. මේ හතරෙන් එකයිනේ maintain වෙන්නේ. Out of these 4 states, only 1 state will be maintained. But in quantum computing, it is possible to maintain 4 states parallel. All 4 states are maintained. All 4 are maintained parallelly. That is what the power of quantum computing. එතකොට මෙයා හතර පහක් දේවල් කරනවානේ. එතකොට මෙතනින් මෙතනට මාරු වෙලා මෙතනට මාරු වෙලා මෙතනට එන්න. To swap between these states, all 4 states, it will take 4 times. But quantum computing can be done just by one. Just within one time, it can maintain this whole 4. එතකොට එකපාර හතරම ගන්න පුළුවන්. මෙයා හතර පාරකට මේ හතර ගන්න. So that is why the quantum computer is super faster than the traditional computing. Okay. A wearable device capable of activity tracking that measures the data such as the number of steps walked, the heart rate, example for the For a sensor network, that is smart device. Let's keep it for some time. That is a smart device, right? It's not a sensor network. It's not sensible answer. Okay, a collection of nodes capable of environmental sensing, local computation, communication with peers, with other higher performance nodes called geographic information systems. Collection of node capable of environmental sensing, local computation. That is agents, right? And the communication with the peers, that is agents working together as intelligent systems. That is not geographical information system. This was given the other way in the other question, right? That is basically agent-based system, or you can even call a sensor network. Right? That can be a close answer. But the thing is, like this B and C are not close enough. We cannot take that as accurate answers. Therefore, let's go to answer number A only. 38 A only. There will be one question from this area. If you wish, you can omit that. Right? කැමති නැත්තම් ඔය question එකට කඩා ගහලා එන්න පුළුවන්. එක question එකක් එනවා ඔකෙන් කොහොමද? හරි. ඒක ඔය අන්තිම පාඩමේ ඉන්නේ ඔය තියෙන quantum computing, ubiquitous computing, smart computing, IoT, EIoT, Internet of Everything. There will be one question from that section. Okay, time is 11, but let's try to answer a few questions at least. Tired. 39 and 40 at least. Okay, 39 and 40 quickly. Tonight. Consider the following statements regarding databases. For each attribute in a relation, there's a set of primitive values called the domain of that attribute. Okay, this is a new topic. This is about databases. So this is about the relational database management systems. In a relational database management system, we need to understand few concepts. That is not related to this question, but still you need to understand that. Database is a set of interlinked and interconnected relations related to a mini world. So we define a database like that. Mini world means like not everything. Okay, about student database, just think about the student database in a school. In a school database, in a student database, are we going to store everything about the student? For an example, students' meals, students' breakfast, dinner, students' father's occupation, mother's occupation, and father's birthday, mother's birthday, the civil status or the status of the students' siblings, and students' home address. Yes, we need that. The home number of feet in how many rooms are there, how many bathrooms are there. And also what is the number of square feet, how many floors are there in the student's house. Are we going to store all these things? No. Not interested. The student's religion, yes, sometimes, yes. The student's height, weight, normally not. And the student's hair color, eye color, normally not. Then student's gender, yes. Student's registration number, yes. Student's name, first name, last name, middle name, yes. We need that. Student's date of birth, yes, we need that. Some data are needed, but some are not needed, right? How many stories that students know, how many songs that students know, whether students is talented in singing songs, making stories, telling lies. No, some are not related. So that is why we call a mini world. Let's say this is about the student. This is all about the student. All the facts about the students. Mini world means the specific facts where the school is interested on. The specific facts the student school is interested, that is called a mini world. And mini world means the specific facts that the school is interested in. Actually, in a relational database, we store data about subject's mini world, not everything. We store data about a subject, but the related to the subject's mini world in relations. Relations are the tables. These relations are related or the link to each other. Relations are made up with tuples or rows. Tuples, rows, or record. Tuple කියලා කියනවා, tuple කියලා කියනවා. Tuple, තව නමක් record, තව නමක් rows. The relations made up with tuples, records, and rows. That is actually a related set of data about a specific student, which will be identified by a specific unique field name. Actually, tuples are made up with data related to fields. Field. So what are these fields? Fields are about field. Actually, basically in the fields, we store set of attributes. So it has a domain. We cannot store everything. For an example, student's telephone number. There's a domain. We can store numbers with 9 digits or 10 digits. Something less than that or something above that is not allowed. That is called the permitted values or the domain. Right? Permitted values. That is in an attribute means. So our field is also called an attribute. Example, when you cannot remember how to define, so if you are writing the essay question, essay 1, so my advice is at least try to give an example. If you cannot remember how to define a field is actually a specific attribute about the mini world that you are going to store, right? So that will have set of values from a domain. If you cannot explain that, at least give an example. Example, first name. Right? There are some first name can have names only. You cannot put numbers there. No? There are allowed values. Okay, the next thing is a tuple or the record or the rows in a relation are always in sorted order. No, nothing like that. No, you don't want to sort it unless somebody asks you to sort. No need to sort it. It's not in the sorted order. That is not needed actually, not essential, not required. Right? Then database schema shows organization of data as a blueprint of how database is constructed. Database schema, yes. Database schema is the conceptual one, just showing the blueprint or the template, how the database is constructed. That is the template. That is not actual database. That is the plan. Database schema is the plan. That is correct. So A and C are the correct answers here. So number 3 is the correct answer. Tuples, rows, no need to be. Actually, set of related data items form a field. A set of related field values form a record. A set of related records form a relation. A set of related relations form a relational database. A software which is used to insert, retrieve, update, delete data, and also construct and manage these relations are called database management systems. Example, MySQL DBMS, Oracle DBMS, MS SQL DBMS. These are software programs which are capable of managing these data and their structures. Data is managed using CRUD operations. CRUD means create, retrieve, update, delete, insert, retrieve, select, update, and delete for data. And also there are DDL commands, DDL, data definition language commands like construct in the database, construct in the table, alter in tables. These are belongs to DDL. These CRUD operations are belongs to DML, data manipulation language. I have summarized everything, right? Considering the time. Okay, consider the following relational schema. They have given one. Okay, logical one. Student has admission number, surname with initials, house number, street number, village, postal. This is mini word about the student. Assume that for a given postal town only, one postal code, given postal town, one postal code. Oh, there is something to be avoided, like, because inside the table we expect admission numbers to be unique identifier. That is for like any table, we have to find a unique identifier for a row. That is called the primary key. Primary key is the unique identifier, or which is unique to this primary key. Okay. Admission number is the primary key here. We can take that as the primary key. But then key is primary vetti. This is like your father is the primary key of your family. That means he is guiding your family, right? He is guiding and he is the one handling or managing your family, right? Now you are here. You are managed by some other person externally. It is called what? A non-key depend on non-key, which is a transitive dependency. A non-key depend on non-key. කියන මෙහෙම ගෙදර හැමෝම depend වෙන්නේ තාත්තා මත. හැබැයි ඔයා විතරක් වෙන කවුරු හරි මත depend වෙනවා කොහෙන්දෝ ආපු. Right? It is something like this. Everybody depends on the father, and that is the accepted relationship. But if you are depending on somebody else, you need to go out and create a new table. I don't do it now. Do your A levels first. After that, you can do that. That is what the recommendation in the normalization. Please remember that. If something is dependent other than the primary key, if some key is depending on some other key other than the primary key, you should make another table and keep them separate. That is why you need to go away and marry one day, not now, right? And that is a kind of unapproved or unwanted relationship inside. Here, that is what they are telling. The postal code, the postal town depends on the postal code, then other way. Consider the following: the relation is not normalized. We cannot tell that. It's somewhat normalized, but it is not in the third normalized form. Students' relation in the 1NF only. No, it's in 1NF and 2NF also. 1NF is basically having a, if you don't have multi-value attributes. Multi-value attributes කියන්නේ එක field එකකට attribute එකකට value දෙක ගන්න වගේ වැටෙන්නේ නැහැ. Admission number, only one admission number. Surname with initial, yes, only one surname with initial. House number, only one house number. Street name, only one street name. Village, only one village. Postal town, only one postal town. Postal code, only one postal code. All are atomic values. Atomic values. Only one value in one attribute. That is in the first normalized form. If there are no what you call the composite keys, then this table in the second normalized form also. First normalized form කියන්නේ ඔක්කොම value atomic. The primary key එකක් තියෙනවා. ඔක්කොම value atomic. The first 1NF. කියන්නේ මේක surely 1NF. Atomic නේ. අය value දෙක ගානේ නැහැ. දැන් telephone numbers වගේ එකක් මෙතන තිබ්බනම් comma telephone numbers, then that is not in the first normalized form. Anyway, this table in the first normalized form. Then if there are no composite primary keys, composite primary කියන්නේ දෙන්නෙක් එකතු වෙලා primary key හැදෙනවා සමහරවිට. Some families, mother and father both are doing jobs, they both manage the family. That can happen. That is acceptable. Right? Some family only father is doing a job and he's managing the family, and mother is just there as a housewife. That is one primary key. But some family, mother and father both are taking the actions, both are working together and collaborating, both are working as the primary key. So that is called composite primary key. Two keys together or two attributes together created the primary key. Right? Two attributes together created the primary key. That is called composite. If there is a composite primary key, තව ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. If there's a composite primary key, if one is dependent on the part of primary key, that is a problem. Only daughter is listening only to mother. Mother and father both are leading the family, but daughter is listening only to mother. That's a problem. The family is handled by mother, father both. Son is listening only to the father. That's a problem. That cannot happen. Right? Everybody should listen both. Everybody should listen both. That means this composite primary key should be like should be identifier for all the keys, and all the keys must accept their identifier as this composite key, not a part. So no partial dependencies means that is in 2NF. So මෙතන composite key එකක් නැති හින්දා, since there are no composite key, no need to discuss about the partial dependencies. So this table is in 2NF2. Table is in 1NF, due to atomic values. No partial dependencies. The table is in 2NF2. So the student is a relation in the first normalized form only. No, it is in the second normalized form also. But there is a problem. This is the problem. The problem is non-key depend on non-key. That is called transitive dependency. Remember these words. I'm not giving any note. Remember these words. Transitive dependency. If there's a transitive dependency, the table is not in 3NF. The not normalized, incorrect. Table is in 1NF only, incorrect. 2NF also. The normalized student relation, the second normalized one, and hence also in first normalized. In the normalized term, student in the normalized terms, the student relation is the second normal form. Yes, hence also in the first. That is correct. C is the answer. C can be considered as the answer. A only, B, C only, B only, C only. But answer is like C only. No other answers. You can just check the marking scheme. I think they should give for all the answers because the answer is not there. But anyway, only correct statement is slide. So whatever more accurate is only point C. Others are wrong. Right? What about your answers? 40. Yeah, answer not available here. True. All කියලා දෙන්නේ answer එකක් නැති වෙනකොට ඒ දීලා නැහැ. C can be treated as the answer, but it's not given. Therefore, all කියන එක ඔයාලට ගන්න බෑ. You need to know the correct answer. But anyway, if you face this question paper, you will get marks for this question. (41) Which of the following is displayed as the output for the query? Select asterisk from students where postal code is and house number is 3. If executed, select asterisk. We will take everything from the table: admission number, surname with initial, house number, street number, village, postal code. Everything will be displayed. Everything will be displayed. Where the postal code is 10,120. Postal code and all fields will be displayed because select asterisk. All fields of records having postal code 10,120 and house number 30. Yes, that is answer number 4. 41. Answer number 4. Okay, let's see some SQL queries. So next day, please remind me to show some SQL queries. Actually, next question is from the ER and some Python questions. Oh, some Python questions, right? So we need more time to discuss. If I start now, it will be like till past midnight. So just give me some excuse until I arrive back. I'll be coming back to Sri Lanka on 10th November. So till then, let's manage this way. Anyway, so we can finish by next week and start the new one by next week, right? Okay, just go through the questions and see. Now, actually, what you can do is you can find the paper 2019 and try to answer the similar questions. Not everything. So this is an activity you can do at home. So you can find similar questions and answer. If there are different questions from 2018 paper, please circle them. මේක මට කරන්න බෑ. ඔයාලට කරන්න පුළුවන් එක. ඔයාලා මේකට වැඩිය වෙනස් ඒවා තියෙනවනේ. එතකොට ඔයාලට හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් පේපර් එකේ එන හැටි. මම මේ ට්‍රික් එකක් කියලා දෙන්නේ. දැන් මේකට වැඩිය වෙනස් ඒවා තියෙනවනේ. ඒවා රවුන්ඩ් කරන්න. Yeah, 2018, 2019, find 2019 MCQ paper that is online, available online. Circle the questions which are different from 2018 paper. So then the next day, do the next after finishing 2019, do the same for 2020 paper. Do the same for 21, 22 papers. Then you know how many new questions will come for 23 paper. Right? How many new questions will come for 23 paper. And how many existing questions will come for 20. And එන question උත් ඔයාලට හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන් මේක 2018 එකෙන් අනිවාර්යෙන් past papers ටික ගහගත්ත හැටි past papers හරියට තේරුම් ගත්ත හැටි ඔයාලට උත්තර ලියන්න පුළුවන්. මට මේකේ ලකුණු ගන්න එකේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ A level ICT. Only problem is like whether you understood the lesson or not. Because ICT is not a subject that you can score and show your skills. You need to really practice it. Okay, then I'll stop from here. Good night. See you all next week.
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Okay.